request. Bila sa keluar jalan-jalan di luar negara, I keep seeing people, local food, dorang kasih improvise, they change it, they update it, and then they're very proud of them, this thing. So this is my first product, Jam Mamangan. So I brought Jam Mamangan here today.
I can say it's good quality.
Yeah.
My friend Kwan and his partner Rob, they were selling this self-printed comic book called Legend of the Ancient Borneo. Can I try and make it into animation and see how it travels?
My only dreams to become a magician is I want to perform on stage. So lepas itu, that's my biggest dream. And then selepas sudah I already perform on the stage schools and then mission accomplished. Okay, why I do this? I like to make people happy. Yeah, I want to get them, excited, mesmerized.
So, my first mate here is Vivi. Yeah, thank you. And you want to know Cheryl, Adip. It's actually a challenge for local artists called Titik Dingin Damai, right? Titik Dingin Damai, yeah. Go and see them. And the last one, the violist, is called Glenn. Yeah, Glenn is a violist. He was my senior.
Hello, I'm Ben Uzair.
And I love encouraging Sabahans to make it happen on air, on stage, and online.
If your pursuits keep you occupied to make it happen, just like me, well, there's an app just for you, and it's called Sabah Pay. What is Sabah Pay? Well, it's a citizen app created for Sabahans and those who love Sabah. As we form a smarter community through digital transformation via the Sabah Maju Jaya Development Plan, Sabah Pay is the first unified state IT platform that will enhance the living standards of the public and visitors. There is so much you can do on Sabah Pay. You can settle your utility bills, report incidents or emergencies, and even purchase fresh local produce, plus so much more. If you need information on government ministries, department or agencies, you can find a comprehensive list here. You can even apply for a loan with Sabah Credit Corporation and take advantage of their attractive rates. You can get the latest announcements here too. You can view incidents happening in your neighborhood or around your district by clicking here. To report floods, potholes, or vandalism, simply snap, summarize, and submit, and all will be taken care of. If you, a family member, or visitors need access to healthcare, find out the closest hospital in your area. Let's use SabahPay to support local businesses like Nutriba. Log in and let's shop. Well, let's see. I need some protein, some greens, more protein. What about some juice? Yes, this one. Check out and place order. Done. Oh yes, you can pay your bills on SabahPay too. Just scan your electricity or water bill and follow the instructions.
Jangan kau lambat bayar, nanti kena potong itu karan sama tu air. Nanti siapa yang susah?
Best yet, this app is free. There's so many things you can do with SabahPay. So, go ahead and download it for free on Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and Huawei App Gallery.
Hello, welcome everyone to a special edition of Your Voice, Our Future in collaboration with Webcam KK. I am Dinoza. I am your host tonight. And I'd like to kick things off with what is Webcam KK for those who don't know. So, Webcam KK is an event that I've been hosting for more than 5 years now. It's basically an event where we have three speakers, all from Sabah, who are talking about things that they are very passionate about. So due to the pandemic, it's been hard for my side, my team to organize Webcam KK. So I would like to say a big thank you to the folks at Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Center. Because if it's not for them, Webcam KK will not be happening now. And thank you for all of you out there for tuning in. Speaking of going online, tonight our speakers, Top Master of Ceremonies Ben Uzair, accomplished fashion and textile entrepreneur Ann Anta, and talented music producer Hezron Diman will talk about how they end up focusing their works online during this pandemic. It's been tough for everyone. So as you know, most of us have been focusing our stuff online. So we will hear their stories later on regarding going online during this pandemic. So get ready to enjoy our session with our speakers tonight. And I promise you, by the end of the session, it will end up with us learning something new and feeling inspired by speakers tonight. By the way, if you have any questions at all for our speakers, when you're listening or even after the session, please make sure to put your questions in the comment below, and our speakers will try our best to answer all the questions given. So let's start up with first speaker of the night. You might know him as a top master of ceremonies in major events here in Sabah, and also a radio announcer in KK12 FM, or even as this year's Sabah top influencer and content creator. So without further ado, over to you, Ben.
Thank you so much, Dinoza. A very good evening to all to each. It's such a pleasure to be sharing my story. I must be honest with each and every one of you. I don't like talking about myself, but I've been insisted by several individuals to do this, and they say, Ben, you need to tell your story. And as I put all my photos together and things like that, there's only one thing that I hope from each and every one of you, that no matter how tough the things that we have to go through in this pandemic, I hope that you will find a way to keep moving and move upwards, forwards, never quit, and never go back. My name is Ben Uzair. It is such a privilege for me to be with each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And let's go ahead and begin my little slideshow today. So I do have some slides prepared so that you won't have to be staring at my bald head and my face today. I am a little tired today because it's been a wonderful week, a productive week, and what a way to end this awesome week with a presentation with each and every one of you for me to present. And I hope that this presentation will be inspiring for each and every one of you, and it's my hope that we learn something. And I can't wait to also learn something new from Ann Anta and also from Hezron, which I hope that each and every one of you will be able to stay on until the end of this broadcast. No, I don't have gifts for you. I'm not the host. I'm not trying to take over Dinoza's job here. But anyways, here we go. But before I even go on to our presentation today, I think it's very important for us to mention a few words of thanks. First of all, Dinoza, my goodness, 5 years of hosting webcam, connecting each and every one of us with wonderful individuals who are making it happen, not just in KK, but around Sabah. Let's give a big hand to Dinoza. I know that he can't hear our applause, but I just want to thank you for all the opportunities that you have given me, including one which I will show later on, and I hope it'll bring smiles to your face, Dinoza. Thank you so much. I also like to thank Scenic, especially to the General Manager, Vivianti Sarjuni, to the Deputy
General Manager L, who's also tuning in, and to all the wonderful people at Scenic. I hope that once your center opens, it will become a beacon of hope for KKians, for Sabah, and I hope that many things will happen, magical things will happen from that center, and also to Mazri and your team for providing all of these wonderful things today. And I think it's always important to have that sense of gratitude, especially during these challenging times. I'd like to share with you this one quote. There are two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. How many of us had to feel that way when we wanted to quit, when we want to stop, when we couldn't see what's ahead? I feel that, especially during this pandemic. Where did I start? Well, here's a little history. Again, I don't like talking about myself, galit saya actually, but I just want to share my story, and hopefully you'll just take a few things from it. I started off being a student in Switzerland in 1998. I love hotels. I love hospitality. I was lucky as a child to have a mom who is a lawyer, and she had a office in front of Wisma Yakim. And naturally, when she wants me to get out of her hair, she will just throw me to the hotel right behind, which is the historic, wonderful 42-year-old Hyatt Regency Kinabalu. And that's where I learned hospitality. I love people making me smile as a young kid. And I thought, as a young person, I'm like, gosh, I want to make people smile too. So I thought hospitality was one of those places that I could start to make people smile. I know anyone who has been active in any industries, I'm sure the work that you do would want to make people smile, in addition to all the technical things that we are responsible to do. So that's where I started, in this pink building, next to the shore, right on the shores of Lake Geneva, in this lovely little town called Le Bouvray in Switzerland, just about maybe 3 hours if you take a car from that little town to Geneva, where I spent 6 months as a stagiaire in one of the hotels. Yes, we're forced to speak French. Yes, I can speak French. No, I can't converse right now because I've lost my touch when it comes to conversing in French. But I do understand a few words here and there, and I'm absolutely looking forward to the Olympics in 2024. I'm saving money. Anyone wants to join me? Please go ahead and let's sama-sama kita pergi sana. After 2 years in Switzerland, eating enough cheese, chocolates and all of that stuff, and getting to know about the trains and being on time, the value of being on time, I decided to take one of those huge planes and flew to the United States of America, where I studied for 3 years as a student at Belmont University to study business. And later on, with my student visa, I'm allowed to work for a year at a place of my choice. Naturally, I picked a luxury hotel in the middle of the city called the Hermitage Hotel. And I'm very, very proud of the work that I've done there. And one of the things that we were able to accomplish was being part of a team where we actually changed the status of a 4-star property into a 5-star property, rated by Forbes magazine, right now Forbes Travel Guide. So obviously, there's a lot of things that I learned in the 11 years that I was there. Going around the United States, I am lucky to visit 30 out of the 50 states when I was there. Thank goodness for airlines like Southwest. Yes, I lived through the 9/11 era. I was in New York City just a few days before it happened and flew back to Nashville. I was a concierge on 9/11, selling Greyhound bus tickets to guests who wanted to just get home. We ran out of our rental cars, and obviously, if we knew our history, flights were grounded for several days. Unfortunately, people couldn't fly just because they wanted to secure the skies at that time. So those are the memories that I take home with me. And here I am back in Malaysia in 2011, all the way until now. The frequent question I got was, kenapa kau balik KK? Kenapa kau balik Sabah? Kenapa kau balik Malaysia ba, Ben? Kau patut stay saja di sana. And I'm like, Malaysia's my home. My mom and dad are here. My sisters are here. And I think it brings meaning to contribute and make things happen in your own home. And these are the few things that I am blessed and lucky to be doing. I assisted in a family business. As you can see on the photo, on the top left photo is a good friend of mine, Edward June, who is also currently a personal trainer. He started at Juara Gym as an intern. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to stop operations of the gym, and I concentrated on many, many things while I was running the gym. The photo of the 5 ladies in pink up there is one of those opportunities I received to train pageant participants when it comes to public speaking. I was lucky to train them on the international stage, and some of them were successful. Even 2 of them actually won public speaking competitions. I was blessed to be part of the Transformasi Nasional 2050. I was selected to be an ambassador for Sabah, along with Ira Nadira, who is very active in marine conservation, the now Sabah MP, and also the Deputy Works Minister, Dato' Arthur Kurup, who is a good friend of mine, and also with Juliana Alut, who is based in KL. And we are 4 ambassadors who represent Sabah. And as you can see, the photo down there is me talking to about 4,000 students in University Malaysia, Sabah, UMS. I also love radio, just for the fact that I don't like staring in front of the camera like what I'm doing right now. But hey, times have changed and I'm forced to do so. And I'll be sharing with you how I made money and earn a living. And also right there on the screen at the bottom, that's me doing an etiquette class for Sabah Tourism Board staff members. We did several of those events. So these are just a snapshot of the things, awesome, wonderful things that I have enjoyed during my stay here in KK back home for the past almost a decade now. But the crux, the main thing that I have done since 2016 is emceeing, and I've emceed so many events I've lost count. There are MCs out there who count how many shows they've done or events that they've done. Well, let the shows count on their own, and it comes with experience. I'm so lucky that I get to do government events, social events, private events, both by government and also by the private sector. So yeah, it just it's a joy to see each and every one of the guests who are there, and also trying to make things happen with the organizers in order to achieve many historic things, not just right here in KK. I've emceed around Sabah and also flew to KL several times to MC federal events there as well. And just to make Dinoza smile, this was one of the events that I was invited by Dinoza. Potatoes USA, which is an organization based in the United States, when they wanted to come to Sabah to promote US potatoes, potatoes that were grown in Idaho. Well, Dinoza picked the right person. I love food. I love the United States. And I just want to thank Dinoza for giving me the opportunity. And yes, I got paid handsomely for that. Maybe. Some of you might know me from my work at KK12 FM. Unfortunately, right now, I am what you would consider as a volunteer content creator, a volunteer for the radio station. So I will be having new shows beginning in October, and I'm actually taking a break from the radio station right now. But I can't wait to be pushing the buttons again and talking to wonderful people like Hans Isaac, as you can see there on the right-hand side, which we had an interview with him 1 year ago. And also on the left photo is Syed Saddiq, YB Syed Saddiq, who visited KK last year. So let's see here. But unfortunately, with the pandemic, everybody knew of the date, 18th of March. I'll remember that for the rest of my life because my birthday was on March 16. Can you imagine a guy like me sitting in a restaurant enjoying great food, and suddenly we were told that we're going to go on lockdown in 2 days by the Prime Minister? Ooh, that spoiled my dinner. I just wanted to chug my whole bottle of wine right away. So we lived through it. And 1.5 years later, here we are, doing all of these wonderful things online, on social media. There's so many changes that you and I went through. What are those changes? So we also keep asking ourselves, what's next? What's going to happen? What will we be doing in a month's time, in a week's time, in a quarter's time, in the following year? What? Nobody knows, not even me. But I kept on asking myself, how am I going to make money? If I was lucky that I'm still able to do radio, but then again, we still need to pay the bills. And unfortunately, I'm not allowed to MC any events because there are no events that are allowed to be conducted. So I lost a chunk of, in Malay, punca pendapatan, right there, a source of income. And I've also lost another source of income, which is doing talks and things like that, and seminars, the same thing that I did for Sabah Tourism Board, as you saw earlier on. So what did I do? To follow Winston Churchill's, I hope they are the Crown fans here. I love the Crown. I can't remember how many times I've repeated season 1, 2, and 3 during the pandemic. But he did not say this quote in the Crown, which I hope he did. But he said this: if you're going through hell, keep going. Keep going. Just repeat that 2 words after me. Keep going. And that's what we have to do. The world's not going to stop. Time's not going to stop. What choice do we have? We just have to keep going. So, ongoing, keeping going. That's what I did. So, MCing, I'm still glad that few months after the initial lockdown, I'm able to MC a few events. And one particular organization that came to my rescue was Scenic. Thank you very much for offering me the position to be the MC for the Co-Ethic Mentorship launching event. I remember it was in December around Christmas time, and it was my very first time being in front of cameras, a teleprompter. I was scared reading from a teleprompter because my eyes will be atas sini, tapi tu camera pergi tengok sampai leher. So we have to do adjustments and stuff like that. So it's nerve-wracking because all these while as an MC, all I need is a script, look at the foreheads of people so that I won't get nervous. One of the tips for you in public speaking is that don't stare someone in the eye, always stare at them at the on your head. So I'm like, okay, now I have to look at the camera too. And I don't like the camera. I don't like being in front of a camera. That's why you never see me on TV. That's why I'm on radio, because nobody sees you. They just listen to my voice. And I think listening to my voice is good enough. I'm like, oh man. So these are the things that I had to do, as you can see here in the photo. The top right photo is with a huge screen broadcast with our counterparts in KL for this one event that I recently did. Down at the bottom, camera staring at me, and also doing it live on Facebook. Yes, I'm lucky that I get to receive tokens and also professional fees for these lovely events. An organization named Gleneagles Kota Kinabalu also invited me several times to be a moderator because everybody is required to stay home. But during the SOP changes that we had to go through, in between, there was a little note that says, oh, live events are allowed. So obviously a lot of people took advantage of that. And here we are. We get to do all these lovely events online to highlight, World Heart Day and the different commemorations of health conditions, and speaking to patients who have recovered or are recovering. And yes, I made money from that. I don't like talking about money. I won't even disclose how much I make in each of these sessions. But yes, it helped me pay the bills during tough times. I was also invited by the state government earlier this year by the Sabah Maju Jaya development plan. As we know, Sabah is embarking on this very bold development plan named Sabah Maju Jaya. So it's fun to be part of this particular event. It was also good exposure for me because if this event is successful, being watched by hundreds and thousands of government servants and also decision makers, then they say, okay, bolehlah bawa si Ben pasal semua orang mau dia. So I have to jaga my name, I have to jaga my tingkah laku, because I don't want to risk not getting events from government as well. One of the funniest things I did during the event, during the pandemic, was this particular Facebook Live by Kim Tak Cheong. Their executive director, Mr. Dexter, called me and said, "Ben, we want you to be part of this live 24 was it 12-hour sale." And I'm like, goodness gracious, what do you want me to do? We want you to sell something. Okay, I've never done sales before and stuff like that. So we met, we discussed, and I said, you know what, I got nothing to lose. I had a wonderful year. We all went through a tough year together, and I'm like, you know what, let's just have fun. So on the 26th of December, Boxing Day, I decided to make a fool out of myself in the studio. And guess what I was selling at 10 o'clock at night? Shampoo. And I have no hair. And I'm thinking like, Dexter, is this a very good idea, selling shampoo at 10 o'clock at night by a bald guy? And he said, that's part of the fun. That's part of the joke. So, and I was like, okay, I got to call friends to just, be part of this and make a fool out of myself. And guess what? We almost sold out shampoos that night. So I'm not asking for Rejoice or any of the major brands to ask to be a spokesperson. It will ruin their careers. But yes, these are the things that we did. Anyways, moving on. Yes, because of my good work with Kim Tak Cheong, for some reason, they wanted me to be on the Gardenia. So I'm like, oh man, I don't like my face on products and things like that. And we agreed that they are going to stick my bald head and face on Gardenia for a batch, which would last perhaps 2 or 3 days on the shelf in KK. Now, live events, I'm able to interview YB Jinjapong. I'm also able to do a live broadcast with Daphne Eiking, a minute-to-minute account of the inauguration day of now President Joe Biden of the United States. That was fun as well. I also had the opportunity to talk to Shalin Zulkifli during her bowling tour in the United States. She has now returned to Malaysia, and also spoke to the former U.S. ambassador to Malaysia, Kamala Shireen Lakdir, and also said my goodbyes to her, and we are going to miss her very much. She's now back in the States, and now we have a new U.S. ambassador, which we are absolutely looking forward to him, Ambassador McFetus, to come to KK when time allows. So, is it really, really, really about making a living on social media? Well, based on my experience, I think the best way to share things on social media is my experience. I hope I have enough time here. I'll try to rush through as much as possible, Dino. But yes, I'm lucky to visit a lot of hotels in KK. Instead of just posting photos of the rooms and also the views and things like that, what I would do on the captions would be to educate. I think there are many influencers, many people on social media who just get too busy taking photos of this and that, scratching the surface without actually diving deeper into the hospitality industry. And I think one of the things that I did during the pandemic is to educate people. Remember, there was one time when staycations were allowed, and I find that people were enjoying themselves, and I thought that, hey, why not I create content while everybody is doing staycation, including me, to just educate people on how to have fun at hotels. And one of the many things that often people ask me is, Ben, macam mana ba ako dapat upgrade di hotel ni? Uy, punya cantik to suite. I don't even have to pay a single cent for that upgrade. Yes, I pay for the room rate, but I do get that free little upgrade. And I offered many things on my social media, the same as this one. How to get a room upgrade and the many reasons why you should spend that extra money. Kasi sapot-sapot sikit labakan our hospitality industry. The reasons why you should book a suite. So this is one at Le Méridien, KK, beautiful suite, one of the best I think in KK. And I also just before the pandemic got to travel to KL to visit the Majestic Hotel and also Chow Kit, which is a lovely, lovely boutique hotel in the middle of Chow Kit. I did content for Hyatt as well. Hyatt being, I'm so connected to the brand and so connected to the hotel that I got to stay there several times. And each time when I post photos, it will not be about the wonderful view or the comfortable bed or the lovely food and beverage outlets that all of us enjoy, not even the Oxtel Asam Pedas, but it's also about educating people. inspiring people so that they'll be able to do that. No, I've asked hotels not to give me special treatment, because if I were to post extra things, people will be expecting those extra things. So I try to post as diligent as possible so that our audience will be able to enjoy the things as well. The Holiday Inn Express in KK, they recently opened in the middle of the pandemic. I don't usually stay at service hotels like this, but hey, come, kita kasi support lah kita punya orang-orang local juga. So this is one of the contents that I did. One of the things I enjoy in hotels is speaking to the staff and creating relationships with the staff, because you'll never know when you visit the second time, the third time, the fourth time, hey, they might give you some freebies and a little upgrade and a free drink. I do have a question from Facebook. Thank you very much, Jude, for asking this. Can you give tips on how to do collaboration local content creator? Well, I'm doing it right now. So, and people enjoy a little clickbait here and there. So I had to open my shirt once in a while. Not all the time. You will never see me opening my shirt when I have no reason to. But hey, I visited Bunga Raya Resort before we went to another lockdown. They were previewing this lovely product called Breakfast in the Pool. So yes, it's really nice. It's really fun because dine-ins are not allowed. You only have to go to your rooms to enjoy your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So why not eat in the pool? Perfect idea. I hope that each and every one of you will make your bookings to Bunga Raya Resort when they open, and I hope to see you there. So that's hotels reviews. Let's go really quick when it comes to food. I'm a little bit scared with time here, Dino. But anyways, Town Restaurant, which is one of my favorite cafes here. Also Adelphi, which is a great place to go. I don't like to take photos of the food, and one of the main mistakes that I noticed that a lot of food influencers do is not explaining the food properly, not explaining the ingredients properly. Semua cakap yang, oh, saya makan ini pizza, yummy. And I detest the word yummy. Tell me if the cheese and the arugula salad and the olives go together with the sourdough crust. Tell me if that fish and chips that was battered is better than, is it beer battered or is it with breadcrumbs? Tell me if the seafood goes well with that lovely wine from France or wine from Australia. I want to know more. I wish that influencers would take that extra step to learn. And how do you learn? Simple. Talk to chefs, talk to people in industry, talk to all these waiter and waitresses to recommend so that you'll be able to train your palate. That's in pound. I was very lucky to receive this wonderful blue box from Le Méridien KK during Christmas time. Chef Gary Ekar, who was one of the chefs there, prepared me a lovely turkey. And yes, I wrote about that. And it's not just about talking about the turkey, but also how this gesture reminded me of my years in the United States, enjoying Thanksgiving and also Christmas with my American friends. I was also lucky to do a contest out of all the influencers and all the people who are responsible to write wonderful things about food in KK. I was given the chance to do a contest on my social media where I'm able to send not one, not two, but 5 individuals to enjoy the Buka Puasa buffet at Le Méridien. And remember, this was just recently when dine-ins were allowed. So I had a chance. I had a ball doing it. We did some Facebook Live announcements and stuff like that. So yeah, yes, one of the perks of doing this job. So question number 2, also by Jude Chong. How do you approach the local content creator? How do you approach the local content creator? I need to digest this question. Are you asking from the point of view of the client, or do I approach someone? Nanti Jude, nanti saya sabar dulu, nanti kita apa. Hyatt Regency Kinabalu during the pandemic decided to pull their truck to the front. I love that it's visible in front of this beautiful historic building right here in the middle of KK. I was among the first to go out there and support them. And my gosh, 10 ringgit, 15 ringgit of different dishes and stuff. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful to go out there and support. And the least that I could do, snapshot, ambil gambar, post it on my social media. Tidak mau apa-apa free. I don't want anything free. I'm just doing it just because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to support, even though you're just paying that 10 ringgit, 15 ringgit, whatnot, just to support them. I don't like taking food photos very much because I don't have a good camera. But I do like writing something like this, like the afternoon tea that Hyatt Regency did, tips on how to enjoy afternoon tea. So I think a lot of my followers enjoy about me teaching them, educating them, coaching them on how to enjoy all of these lovely, luxurious things that we have in KK. I love speaking to restaurant owners. This is me with Junior, who is a mixologist who spent numerous years in KL and decided to open Flips right here in KK, a place that I definitely encourage you to not just go and enjoy, but to speak to Junior, who will be able, and if you're close enough to him, he might make you a surprise cocktail. Of course, you have to pay for it, but it will be, it will be off the menu. All right, a few last minutes here. We'll go ahead. This is me with Chef Danielle at the Sutra Resort, which is Ferdinand's during their reopening. And then I love Bobo. I love this little cafe called Bobo. They do a lot of amazing things there. Chef Nathaniel is a fun guy to talk to, and I'm sure you'll be enlightened by all his experiences in the Philippines and also in India, and then returning home to KK. Because of all the things that I did, I am also able to make money by being a wine ambassador for wine sellers. This is one of the many different promotions that I did online for Christmas content for wine sellers. I'm also able to participate in numerous webinars by them. I'm also able to host webinars for wine sellers to connect with wine ambassadors from around the world. And also recently I did some content for the famous South Australian brand called Penfolds. And also I'm able to make money from, talking online. This is me at one government-related webinar. And, it's fun to connect with all these directors and stuff like that. So this is one that I'm doing next week with Polytechnic Port Dickson. I have no idea how Port Dickson found me and wanted me to speak about dressing for success. And I'm like, okay, a good topic to talk about. And absolutely, I'm now putting the slides together. And recently, just this afternoon, I released a video for Titanium. I hope you'll be able to watch that as well. Penat saya bercakap sudah. But anyways, there's this one influencer competition, and we're going to go to Q&A after this. And I did a video together with my good friend Clarice Boone of Boone Productions. And wow, I got nominated for this. And I'm like, kenapa ba ada orang pergi nominate saya untuk ni influencer punya competition? Saya tak suka ba kena panggil influencer. I don't like the word influencer. Oh my gosh, gelik saya punya telinga. I'm not an influencer. I don't want to be one. But I was nominated for this competition. And the final duties that I had to do was to do a video. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. Clarice is not doing anything. No one is doing anything. Let's just go ahead and have fun with this. But as a few influencers pulled out, guess what? The money pool got bigger and bigger. And I'm like, Clarice, we must try our best to, we must try our best to try to, get a placing lah. We need to try to do a placing. So I like to say thank you to Shamir, who is joining us tonight, because without Shamir and without him helping me to do this lovely poster of trying to teach and educate people on how to vote for that video, it's like I don't know how to go through, telling people how to vote and stuff like that. But he decided to put everything together. Shamir is not even a friend. Shamir is a stranger, a lovely person who follows me on my Instagram, and he connected with me and send messages and stuff like that. And I think it's very important that if you want to be a good influencer, you have to build your own cyber troopers too. So I like to announce that Shamir, you better lead to be my cyber trooper gang and also my posse if you're there. So we did this video for Sabah Pay, which some of you have watched just now. And these are some of the contents that I did in addition to the video. And that video made me win the Sabah Top Influencer and Content Creator of the Year. So the fun part about money, I won not just the title, I also won Best Video, that's 1,000 ringgit, and obviously the title, which is 4,000 ringgit. Because I did that with did that with Clarice. Obviously, I had to split the money. It's only fair and in the spirit of collaboration. So is it really about making a living on social media? Well, here are points that I want you to remember. Yes, it's about making a living, but make sure that you make it educational and inspiring. Create content to strengthen relationships. I think that's very important. And most importantly, have fun with it. Make it happen. All right. Last but not least, giving back. When you earn, you have to give back. One of the things that I did was doing the big list, listing 100 different businesses that I patronize right here in KK. And also it's sharing sessions together with students at UMS for free. And this is one that's coming up on not the 26th, but on the 29th by Kementerian Belia dan Sukan Sabah and also Majlis Belia Sabah to do a talk. And it'll be challenging because it'll be in Malay. Anyways, back to you, Dino. Q&A. Sorry, I was just rushing through the slides. I don't want to eat up anyone's time.
No problem, man. Thank you so much for your presentation just now. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm sure the audience did. We'll go straight up to Q&A. I think this one question now from Almizar Amil Hamza, which is somewhat related to what Jude was asking. I think what Jude was asking earlier is how does he, how do we approach a local content creator for a job and all that, which is, I think it's pretty straightforward. Just meet up with them, tell them what you want. And as long as you're specific with what you want, then we work out the details on how to make it work. And in relation to that, based on Almiza's question, which is, Ben, if you were invited and get paid to review things, be it hotels, foods, etc., but your heart and soul didn't connect with the products, what do you do? I think this is the time when you want to choose whether you want to go for it or not, right? So I'll let you explain a bit about that.
So Al, that's a very, very good question. Yes, there are times when I get paid to do something and it didn't connect with me. The food's not nice. So what do? I don't post about it. I don't complain about it because the goal is when you put content on social media is to entice people to come. But however, if I feel that some products, food items, restaurants, cafes are not up to my standards, no, I will not post about that. Simple as that. If they do pay me, I will say, no, I'm going to train you. Because if there's something wrong with the food, I have to tell you how to improve it. I have to tell you the service is not good. I have that background. I'm able to train someone in customer service and we will do another review. So that's simple as that, straight to the point.
Yeah, cool. There's another question from Kevin Koma. Ben, have you ever attended NLP courses? Because apparently he noticed most of the people that you spoke to in your slides are from the NLP course.
Okay. You know what, Kev? I've always wanted to attend a neurolinguistic programming course. I've signed up for one. I had to postpone. Dr. Siva is one of my good friends who I've promised that I will be attending his classes one day. Let's just hope when things are better, we'll be able to, attend classes and I'll be able to commit and invest a 7-day course with him. But yes, NLP is something that I absolutely want to do.
Awesome. So if any of you guys out there who are watching, if you have any more questions, just please put it up there. We still have time for one more question if there's any. In the meantime, I have a question for you,
yes,
Ben, which is in terms of the pay, right? So like, for example, when you're back when you're an MC before the pandemic, compared to now that during the pandemic when you do online, is the payment the same or I don't know, how does that work?
Ideal fees on a case-by-case basis. Yes, I have a rate card. Yes, I have a certain level that that we need to agree on when it comes to payment. But right now with the pandemic, I mean, obviously people are asking for discounts. People are, trying to make things even. Trying to get out of the woods when it comes to the COVID-19 situation. So I will deal it on a case-by-case basis. So sometimes I'll take a token. Sometimes I'll take a discounted rate. At the end of the day, I will just discuss and see how we can work together. So I need to earn. They need my services. So hopefully when things get better, I'll be able to go back to my usual rates, but it's not any different than what I was, usually the fees that I would enjoy. It's just a little bit of a discount, and but yeah, I don't like talking about money, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
hey,
that's fine. Yeah.
whatever that I earn, you know, thank God, Alhamdulillah,
Yeah.
I'm able to save more this year. So hey, remember 2024, I'm going to Paris, so I
Oh
need to
yeah.
save.
It'll happen. It'll happen. So to sum it
Yes,
up, it's just about pandemic is all about trying to adjust the rates based on everyone's needs. But
yeah,
I think more important is that we keep things going
yes,
for the benefit of everyone. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Awesome. So that's all the time we have for Q&A. Thank you so much for your time, Ben. Uh,
no
and
problem.
now, and now we're gonna go straight to our next speaker, which is Hezron. Hezron from SoundLab Studio. He is a musician. He is a music producer. He's also even a music lecturer. And Hezron himself is the person behind the scenes in terms of music production for what do you call this? The local artists here. So we probably haven't seen him like out there with all the artists, but he himself has been a pivotal role in creating music for our local artists. Uh, so without further ado, we're gonna listen to his talk about his journey during the pandemic, where he's now more focused on doing things online and how does that work for him. Okay, Hezron, over to you.
All right. Hello, guys. My name is Ezron, and I'm so grateful to be in this webinar. Actually, this is my first time joining a webinar session, and I would like to say thank you to Dinoza and also Dinoza for inviting me, and also the team that is already setting up all the equipments and the setup for the webinar for tonight. And let me just start my screen share. All right. Yeah. So yes, my name is Ezron Diman, and currently people recognize me and know me as the owner of SoundLab Studio. Formerly it was SoundLab Studio, but now it is SoundLab Production because we're venturing to more audio works besides just giving the services on recordings and recording, but now we're venturing to more stuff. So now is called Sonic Production, and also I'm working as a not only as a music producer, and also I'm also working as a music arranger. Um, I think a recording musician. So and also I'm also teaching in UITM and also in UMS. So let me just introduce myself. Just a simple introduction. Um, all right. So I graduated from UMS, Bachelor in Performing Arts, to be specific in music. My major is in double bass. The instrument basically is just the instrument. My major is in double bass, and also I play electric bass as well. Um, and then before people knew me as a music producer, a music arranger, but I started my career as a performer, based in KK. I perform in various events in KK, and also performing under various people in hotels and lounge. And but my career as a performer started as a stroller. A stroller is basically just a three musician singing and playing instruments without microphones, without amplification. It's just singing from spot to spot, from table to table. So basically, when you go to a hotel, so when they're enjoying their dinner, so basically we're just playing from table to table. So if there are any song requests, we'll sing for them. So basically, that's how my journey as a musician first. Before I was in this industry of music production. Also, I did perform at Hyatt Hotel as a jazz trio under Juntan. It was like 1.5 year. We're performing jazz songs at the lounge. Yeah, that's it. And then Yeah, these are some of the pictures that I have, a compilation of the pictures where I perform. This is in the Hyatt lobby lounge. And then yeah, and also I perform in a big band. To be specific, is the big band is called Borneo Big Band under the guidance of John Jim, and this is the picture that we perform during the KK Jazz Festival. I did perform several times the KK Jazz Fest, but I just pick some pictures to put here. These are the banners and everything. I think this is 22nd of July 2016. Yeah, led by John Jimenez. He's the one guiding us, doing the arrangement and everything. And then I perform in various events and places also. And also I'm teaching. So this is the picture of, this is before pandemic. So yeah, no mask and everything is very the cut. So what I'm teaching is I teach a group of student um, in the UITM. So basically, what we did is we make them choose 5 team members and to do a band. So what we did is we teach them to play as a band. So basically, that's what we teach in UITM. Um, and then yeah, okay. So we have a question. Should I go to the question, Dinoza? All right. I
That's
just
okay,
continue
Ezron.
on.
We do the questions later during Q&A.
All
Don't
right,
worry about
I'll
it.
continue.
Yeah.
All right. So I started my journey into music production during 2017. That was the year where I started my journey. Basically, but before that, there's just a side story for this. I think I did cerita to Dinoza is that um I did get a job, a permanent job from a radio station, a local radio station. So I was offered a job there with a good pay and everything. But I did what I did is I rejected the job, not because I didn't like the job, but I felt that I needed to do another direction. So what I did is I went to music production, and it was at the start it was a pretty hard decision too, because basically I did focus more on music production. So on performing side I do not focus more. So there are times where pocket money, or you don't have enough money to to pay bills and everything, because you were just starting up on this new job. I mean, your new career. So it was really tough for me at the at the beginning. But yeah, every decision has its own sacrifice. Yes. So before I was producing songs for artists and local artists in Sabah. I was actually I started producing songs for church, actually, for the specifically for Christmas song. So usually before Christmas we try to produce a Christmas song for our church. So that's where I started my music making, and learning how to record, learning how to do music, um, basically to work with others so that we can produce a song. So during 2017, we released a video. This is one of my first videos that I did for church, and then the next year, 2018. So basically, what I did is, before I start venturing into this work, is actually just once in a year punya project lah. So 2018, we did another second song, and this song, I don't know how the views get that much, because I think 29,000 views. Yeah, it's 29,000. This is where I started to think, why not? Why not if I just venture more into the secular industry, where I produce for local artists, and then I did some cover songs as well outside, and then I just, yeah. So I venture more into produce. I'm venturing more into producing music for local artists. So basically, what my job is, I guide the artists. I arrange the music, I make the music, I record the music for them, and also I set up the recording for them so that they are able to able to give the best out of it and produce good songs. So these are some of the artists that I produce in KK. We have a John James. I think um, we his song that we did. I'll show you the video in a second. Um, his song was nominated and was nominated number one in the Sabah hits. I forgot the name of that 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 event lah. It's like Sabah top 10 hit ka, local something. So John James song was nominated and he got number one on that week. And I got also Jess Joel and then Alexander Sebastian. Okay, Alexander Sebastian was one of my first secular production. I'm going to show you the video. So, and then I got Joshua Peter as well on the music production on my songs that I produce. I think there's a lot more of songs that I produce, but I just picked some of it lah, just to show you what's happening. All right. So we're gonna see a video. Just to complete, the first video would be the first music production for a local artist. This is the first time where I did a song for a secular market for yeah. And then the second, and then the second. Oh, sorry. And then the second one. I'm so sorry. And then the second one. Hold on. There's a bit trouble here. Okay. Okay. I hope you can see my feed. Hold on, huh? I have troubles with the. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna see a video. The first video would be the first production that I did, and then the second one is from John James. So we can play the video number one. Thank you.
Drinking way too much, 'cause you keep messing with my head. Girl, I swear I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna be better, I'm gonna be fine without you here.
This guy is actually from Keningau. Yeah.
I don't think you know
Okay.
how beautiful you are.
It's
Stars
from
even
John
get
James.
envious of you. Let's just dance under the moonlight. Kiss your lips
Yeah.
loud and we just
John James is a cool guy.
It's a blessing to see you alright. Baby, let's just dance the night away.
Okay, basically, I love working with artists and young people, especially with young people. So basically, maybe you're asking where did I find this young artists and these people? Basically, it's from where I teach. So I jumpa they're all from UiTM, especially like Jazz, I and Alexander. I found out that they can sing, so I say, why not you produce a song? So my work is like really correlated somehow. And then after a while producing songs for artists, I venture more into audio works in the industry. For example, like jingle, music for advertisement, vocal recording, audio recording, music for dance competition, music for local clothing line, and then pre-recorded school drama and cover song project. So this is some of the audio works that I did and still doing until today. I'm going to show you some of it. This is my first advertisement project that I did with CS Chan, Prabhat CS Chan. So what we did is a indoor advertisement where they play the audio advertisement inside their shop. So while people are shopping, they can listen to the advertisement. Um, I think I'm not gonna show this video. I'm just gonna push next one. Okay, the vocal recording. I also did some vocal recording in other studio as well. So there are we were doing the first picture is the works that we record Marsha's song under the guidance of Velvet, and then the second one is the Boasted Naval Shipping Company. Yeah, we did their song for their I think for their company's company's anniversary, and then the third one, the below the picture below is the one that are involved recording for the My FM's announcers, Chinese New Year song. Yeah, so these are some of the works that I do in vocal recording, and then this is also one of my uh, interesting work that it is the pre-recorded school drama where we work with kids, so that we record their voice, we make the music, added some sound effects so that when they do the drama, they are actually they already practice with the pre-recorded audio for them. So this is actually one of my um, rare projects that I have. Yeah. And then okay, I'm gonna go into the working during pandemic. I'm gonna share to you what I did and how I survived as a music producer during this pandemic. So uh I'm so grateful that during this pandemic, the music production has already shifted to the digital era where everything is in digital format. So before this, if you want to record a song or you want to produce something, you need to go a proper studio with a proper equipment and everything. But nowadays, you can have an amp simulator. You can have an amp guitar on on your computer. You can have your mixers and everything in the computer. Everything is in digital format. Um, and then nowadays more equipments are in digital format, yeah, as I already explained to you. And then good and cheap equipments are available in the market. Yeah, nowadays if you want to set up your podcast or your podcast, or you want to do a home recording, everything you can buy those equipments in the market, and it's cheap nowadays compared to 10 or 20 years ago. Recording stuff is very expensive. And then the third one is the various streaming platform nowadays. I mean, I come from the era where CD is I still collect some, CDs from artists because I really like CDs. But nowadays CD is not that really relevant already. So many stuff are already in the streaming platforms such as Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, iTunes. Everything is streaming. So during this pandemic, we have the good opportunity to work in this digital format, and then the impact of social media as well help us. So when we want to advertise or we want to promote our song, we have the social media to help us. Yeah, even though with their algorithm, but if you work hard, you keep posting, yeah, you will eventually will share your song outside. And then this is just I just wanted to explain you do it before. I mean, 10 years 20 years ago, when we do recording, we need to go to a proper recording studio. But nowadays you can just do it at home. Home recording studio, in a home studio, you can basically do anything. So basically that is what I did during this pandemic. Everything I did was just in my house, a room, and I set up my equipments. So my equipments just minimal equipments that I have. Minimal equipments that I have in my house. So what I did is I set up everything to work, and basically that's just it. There's no hassle and everything. You just need a computer, just a keyboard and a speaker. If you don't have speaker, just a headphone. It works. Um, for teaching, this is the side where it's a bit heavy for me during this pandemic, because we have this open and distance learning with students where we use Google Meet to teach student. So before this, we did teach the student in groups, like in the groups of 5. So whatever I teach, I guide them as a band in a form of 5%. But during this pandemic, we cannot do that. So what we need, what we make, what we shift, what did we change is we make the assignment, the assessment, the assignment, everything is individual. We cannot do it in groups. So the student need to perform individually, and then the assignment they need to send individually. So the workload becomes a bit heavier on our side as a in teaching. And then the second thing that we're struggling is the internet connection, because some of my student is really um the internet. Some of them are, I mean, I just shared to you guys last, some of the students are living in the places where internet connection is really not good, or maybe they need to travel down to the Pekan and then to have the internet and then having their classes. So it's very challenging for us lah, because it's quite challenging. But yeah. And then recently I was offered to teach in UMS also, as a base tutor. So these are the students that I teach also by Google Meet, where but basically I do more on like giving them assignment, and then ask them to send me a video so I can evaluate what they're doing, and also I evaluate their works, their practices and everything through videos. Yeah. But we do have an one-to-one classes, like online classes, so that we can bincang what we need to improve in their playing. And then working during pandemic, for me as a producer, as an also as a tutor, I need to know how to use certain website and application like Google Classroom and YouTube. So basically, Google Classroom is just a classroom, but is it's not a physical classroom. It's just a virtual classroom where they submit their assignment and everything inside, so I can check, so I can know whether they submit in on time or not. Basically that's Google Classroom. And then their performance, what they did is I give them songs. They need to perform 2 songs, cover song, and then post it in YouTube so I can watch it and evaluate it and give marks. That's all. Yeah. Music production during pandemic. So how I survive by doing music production in pandemic. As you know, the SOP have been always changing, and it's very challenging for us to do recording and production. But we did manage to do some. So I'm going to share to you. The first one is I managed to work with a local clothing line, which is Swede. It's a local clothing line by Don. Basically, what he did is he designed this cool, t-shirt, cool design, and then one day he saw my post in Instagram, and he asked, like, "Can you make a music for us?" Basically, it's an advertisement music, but we turned it into a branding song. So basically, the clothing line itself has its own song as a brand. So our song genre is actually a lo-fi music, which is a low fidelity music. We released our first song, "I Have a Dream," which is a collaboration with Swede and Hezron. And then this is the artwork, and the artwork was recently was posted back, repost by Vans Malaysia, because of the picture. I think because the illustrator did, I think the artwork I'm not sure. It's is it Vance or not? But Vance repost it back lah. So this is the song that I did for the clothing line, Swede. You can check the song later. I think yeah, yes. You can play the video. Video number 3. So you can have this is lo-fi. And that's my voice lah. I'm singing in the song. It's kind of chill lah. It's a chill music which represent the brand. Alright, thank you. Okay, basically, what Swede is doing is they're trying to collaborate all the music producer in KK and producing songs, lo-fi music, so that we can become a brand in KK. Basically, this song has already been submitted to a one of China's app store. It's app store. It's called QQ Music, if I'm not mistaken. So we put the song there, and we're trying to tembus lah. We are trying to push to China market with this type of music, because due to pandemic, so we are unable to do a good connection with China. So we are basically trying to push to China lah. That's our main purpose lah for this. Okay, and also I produced my own original song during the pandemic. So yeah, I cannot do a lot of recordings, but saya tidak mau mengaku kalah dengan keadaan. So I did my own song. I produced 5 songs. 5 songs during the pandemic, which is I collaborated with a lot of other artists as well. For example, with Einstein, with Phoebe and Rex Neo, and also with Swede. I think later they will be we'll be playing the MV for the song. That's on the second Spotify picture there. That song, I'm gonna share a bit later on this at the end about that song, how we recorded the video during the pandemic. So I'm gonna share that. Okay, this is also some of the works that I did. A cover song. We did a cover song on at my studio. 2 cover song that we did. But I think when we did this, it was the cases were really low at that time, so we are able to do it. So I'm gonna play the song, and the second, I think the first one was for a guy. He plays the trombone, so we did a cover song, and then the second one is with Dinoza. We have this is my this is my first time collaborating, doing a cover song with other companies as well, for Breeze. I think it's for Breeze, Cold Winds Production, guy, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Cold Wind production. So we managed to work with other artists, and then under the guidance of Dinoza, and then we have the interns to help me. At that time, we have intern student from, I think, ICOM, and also Aswara, if I know. So yeah, Aswara and ICOM. So they help us a lot in the video. So I'm gonna ask to play the video first. All right, thank you. Yeah, can play the next one. This one is with Dinoza. This is kind of special project for me lah, because first time working with Dinoza kan.
I can't seem to focus. You don't seem to notice I'm not here. I'm just a mirror. You check your complexion to find your reflections all
All right. Thank you very much.
I
So why I said this is kind of special for me because um uh, in order for you to work with other people, you need to have an open heart. I mean, open book for you to receive any ideas and suggestion. For me, basically, when I started in music production, I have this, ego of not how to say, as a musician, I think we have this ego of not want to accept any suggestion. But in this in this industry, you need to work with other people. So I tell myself you need to have an open heart, open book to work with others and to listen to what they say. So I'm very grateful to work with Tinoza as well in this project because I learn a lot of stuff. When you work with others, you learn a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay. The next one. Okay, and also, I during the pandemic, I did also work with Adam Shamil. We recorded some of the stuff, some of the voiceover by the voice talent for the Petronas Kamatan 2021. You can check that out. And also, I did involve in the Sekolah Seni Malaysia, in Penjurusan Seni Music, where we did their song. We mix their song and we make it into a CD. I think it's for their SPM exam, if I'm not mistaken, because this sekolah is like sekolah menengah, but they're more to like penjurusan seni music lah. So this is also one of the works that I did. Yeah, thanks for listening. So I'm gonna explain a little bit of the music video later after this all finished. Basically, the music video that I did is the song. It's a Japanese oriented music lah. It's a J rock. The tajuk is Akirame Naide, means never give up. So in this pandemic, I did share this song as an encouragement to all of us that whatever that we are facing now, we still cannot give up at this point. Yeah. This song is actually what I did. Everything is recorded here at my home, at my home studio and everything during this pandemic lah. So I recorded everything, and the video, what we did is I just recorded it at the back of my house. I mean, the back of the place where I stay is just really some bukit and random grass and everything. But when you see the video, you know this. Belakang rumah ba ni? Later you guys see lah. So it's challenging, but we try to be creative as creative as we can. Yeah. So thank you. I'm gonna give back to Dinoza for question and answer. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Hezron. So yeah, Hezron was talking about the music video. We will actually play it as the closing for tonight's session later. So please stay tuned. We proceed now with Q&A session. If you guys haven't asked any questions yet, please do ask a question. We will try our best to answer all. Just drop your question in the comment below from wherever you're watching the session from. So we'll start off with one question here by Kevin Koma. Hezron, have you ever considered producing video game genre tracks that could be used for game streamers in the future, or have you already done that?
No, this is. I mean, I myself is a. I mean, I love to play video games. But video game genres is really interesting for me to do, but I haven't ventured in this. But thank you, Kevin. This is a really good idea for me, like to really go and search stuff. But I haven't been to this, but I'm considering if there's a chance for me to do it. If there's any local produce video game producers out here in local Sabah, I would like to work with you to do this, because for me this is my work is like I'm learning as well as I'm working. Yeah. So if there's any chances to do this, I would love to do. I would straight away jump for this works. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Hezron, if you do that, please let me know. I would love to listen to your track.
Yes.
Our next question is by Jess Joel.
Jess.
Hi, Jess. I have a
Hi,
question to Mr. Hezron. In your opinion, sir, how can we develop awareness to our local artists and anyone who wants to start their music career in choosing the digital platforms to market the music out there? So I think this is quite common where we have YouTube, Spotify, and all that. Any thoughts on this or any other platforms that you would recommend?
Yeah, I I would recommend. I think nowadays the trend is we have this um podcasts. Yeah, I think recently podcast is kind of blooming in KK. Yeah, I think podcast also is one of the ways for you to like really promote yourself. Besides, we have those Instagram and everything. But if we read back the question, in your opinion, so how can we develop awareness to the local artists? Anyone who wants to start, basically to develop awareness. I think in UITM, I met a lot of good singers and everything, but they don't have the desire or the awareness of producing their own song. So I think one of the ways is if we can share as many as possible stuff like this webinar, so we can share what is happening inside um, and have them join in this webinar and just listen on how what we are doing in the industry. I think they would really love to work with us. But basically, that is what I met a lot of students where they're really talented. They have the voice, they have the ability to write song, but they don't have the awareness of producing the song. So I think us, the one who is working in this industry, and also like this webinar, it helps a lot. I did share this link to my students via class in and I hope they are watching now so they can listen to this. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, Hezron. The next
Okay.
question is by Jude. Do you conduct online course? I think what he means here is by basic online courses for sound production, music production, sound effects, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically I did I'm doing it right now. I currently have some I these courses I did with other student, for example like John James. Even though I make his music, but also I'm teaching him the music production through online. But I think because now the SOP is getting ada kurang sikit sudah dia punya ketatkan. So I'm thinking of doing more physical, because if I teach physically like together, it's easier for you to understand. But if we do it online, yes, I can teach, but um, the effectiveness of that teaching will be a bit reduced. Yeah, but I do base online classes. I do production classes online. Yeah, yes.
Nice. I
Yeah.
think Jude was also asking in a response to that question, is that he would love to reach you as well. Correct me if I'm
Mm,
wrong, Hezron. If anybody
mm.
wants to reach Hezron, just look up for him in Facebook, in Instagram.
Insta.
Look for Hezron Diman. You can just look for Hezron. There's very few Hezrons out there on social media, so I'm very sure if you search Hezron, you will see this face popping up under your search for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, we have a question from Alizar.
Ah,
Hezron,
this.
I believe Sabahans are talented when it comes to arts, singing, dancing, and playing instruments. However, most of the talents were left undiscovered. Do you search or hold auditions for local talents to produce their music, or do they approach you to get their music produced? I think it's a bit of both,
Oh,
right? Yeah,
yes, it's a bit of
yeah,
both. But
yeah.
this is what we call. I mean, this job is actually called an artist and repertoire, where we seek artists or talents. So, my marketplace, or the place where I carry all these people, is from UITM and from the places where I teach, because the place where I teach in UITM. So each semester I will meet a new 20 or 21 years old punya student um, joining my classes. So there I can find, um, even though I don't hold any like audition or whatever things to check, but s- uh, I always how to say pantau mereka from the classes that I teach. So from there I will know which one would really would really able to produce their song, would able to be an artist. So this is how I work. I seek those younger younger people, because that is where I can. I mean, that's the pool. That's where I work, so that's where I can find. Um, Besides that, I think social media has it's been helping me a lot, because I'll just share a bit lah. When I started producing song for Alexander Sebastian, when we shared the song, when he shared the song, his friend saw the song, and then his friend asked him where can I produce my song, and then when we produced for John James and then for Jazz, and then the words start to spread, and then they find me. So like Dinosa said, it's like both ways. Like it worked both ways. One is like I approach them, and also they approach me through many channels like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, so we have one last question. This is
Yes.
by Marilyn John. If
Marilyn John.
someone is a voice, someone wants to be a voice actor, how would they develop their career in KK?
Okay, this. Okay, well, I think this would be a bit not on my how to say. I think for a voice actor, I think maybe because I did saw Marilyn John's Instagram. He did some of his voiceover. I'm not sure how to answer this question, but I think because this is not on my
I see.
works that I did, I just find some person to do. Let's say a company asked me to do an advertisement. They need a voice talent. They need a content creator. So I just cari mereka and then to work with them there. But to develop as a voice actor, I think I just give my honest opinion lah kan. By my honest answer, maybe try to apply what I did lah. When I first started this career as a music producer, I didn't think about the money first. I just think about collaboration. Just do it for free. Just let yourself be exposed to the industry. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm doing this stuff. Just do that for like 1 year, 1 year, or maybe several months. But I did this, I think, almost like 1 year. Just do collaboration, and then just I didn't think about the money. I didn't talk. Think about all the monies and untung ka tidak. No, I just did it because of passion, and also I just want to get myself up there so that people know that hey, Hezron is doing this stuff. So I would recommend to you, Marilyn, that you can do that.
To at least to build your profile and resume lah kan.
Yes.
At least for that. Also, I think Marilyn should not just limit herself in KK. I believe there are other platforms online where she can search for opportunities there as well. Can I say that? I'm sure there's online platforms where she can approach for opportunities as well. Okay, so that was the last question. I still see some questions, but we don't have the time, unfortunately. But rest assured, Hezron will check your questions. Our speakers will actually check all the other questions that are unintended, and they will do their best to answer there as well. So no worries. Thank you, Hezron. Thank you so much for your time. We are now going towards our final speaker. Last but not least, we have Anne as our last speaker tonight. I hope all of you are still tuning in tonight and enjoying the session. I promise you the session with Anne is going to be a good one as well. Anne is a person that actually wears many hats. But of course, she is best known in our local and fashion industry, in our local fashion and textile industry, as the founder of Cantik Borneo. Anne, the stage, or shall I say the screen, is all yours. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dinosa. Hi, everyone. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, good evening, everyone. So we have listened to a few of the two talks just now, two sharings from Ben and Hezron. It's quite interesting. Maybe their sharing is more on how they from their personal, but my sharing tonight is more on how I make a living for my company during the pandemic. So yeah, here you go. Okay, when the pandemic or the MCO was imposed in last March, the government said, okay, sorry, you have to close your business, you have to close the doors. So it was memang sakit lah, truly sakit, especially to a business yang baru saja started, like me, yang baru saja mula. We started in 2018, and then we were making a lot of progress in 2019, and we were hoping 2020 was a good year. Unfortunately, it was not. Okay, we were forced to close kami punya business temporary in March. So what happened during that year, during that period sampai sekarang is truly, I would say, is like macam roller coaster. Okay. So before I started my sharings about how my life changed during the pandemic, let me share dulu about me. Maybe saya punya introduction about me is very little. So basically, who am I? I'm a mother, 40s, late 40s. Tidak lama lagi mau masuk 50s. Okay, so I'm not that young anymore. Okay, basically, Dino used to be a student at my college. I was teaching dulu. So Dino was one of our students. Yeah, and saya berasal dari Kinarut. I am from Kinarut. So the if you see the picture there kan, SK Pekan Kinarut. That's my school. And then after that, I further my study locally, the University of Science Malaysia. I study computers. Okay, I graduated just before Y2K. I don't know how many of you yang tahu apa tu Y2K. Y2K is the year 2000 to 000. We're supposed to be the catastrophic of the computers will shut down once the clock change into 000. But I think the real catastrophe is the COVID, not the Y2K. Yeah. So I am married, okay, with 3 kids, okay, and my second family is my company, which is Cantik Borneo, and the fourth picture is my staff. Actually, this is my group photo with my staff taken in 2019. Okay, so let me talk about my Cantik Borneo dulu. Okay, so what is my business now? Okay, this is after the pandemic. So what is my business focus at the moment? Okay, Cantik Borneo is a small little company. We are situated at Tamparuli, Sabah. Okay, so my visions, I think my company visions and my personal visions is the same. So basically, my visions and my company vision is to sustain or to promote North Borneo cultural heritage alive through innovation and creativity. Okay, and my missions is we want to make North Borneo's ethnic motif into the international arena. So basically, what we do or what my company doing, we design, we transform the local motif, okay, through digital arts. Okay, and then after that, we print on a media. And then we transfer on textile, and our final product is a textile. It's not a fashion, it's just a kain saja. So basically, we are making raw material for the fashion designer. So my product is basically it's more to B2B, business to business. So I supply textile, which is with North Borneo printed motif. So what happened or what changes I go through within the 18 months, okay? So when I first started Cantik Borneo, we used to be a museum whereby we promote culture. We run a museum whereby we have these dolls, little dolls, kena si dress up in pakaian tradisi, and then we open to the tourists. So tourists will come and visit us, and we educate them about the culture. We educate them about ethnic motif. So basically, this is our first business. That is way we opened in 2014. Then after that, in 2018, we started with the textile because there are lots of macam apa tu inquiry from visitors, especially those who are not from Sabah. They were asking where to find kain which is with Sabah motif. They wanted to find something similar to apa ni to Sarawak. So we started the textile division in 2018. So what happened during the pandemic is, I think we were quite shocked because the moment we closed down, we were temporarily closed down, the museum is like, okay, it's dead. So during the 18 months or the first 10 months, I do a lot of thinking how to survive in the tourism industry with no border open, with no visitors, with nothing. There's no visitors. The first 2 months was really, I would say I was quite stressful. Then I decided, I think it's time maybe to do some checking, to do some thinking about how to survive, how to keep going. So during the first few months, especially in I think somewhere in March, end of March, I shut down myself from social media because I cannot take the pressure. So I think I shut down my Facebook, my WhatsApp, and everything. So I only check one WhatsApp group which I trusted the most. The rest I just don't care. I just ignore. And then I came back in April and I decided that we need to close the museum and we focus on the textile. So I did lots of homeworks during that time. So what happened was during that time, okay, I revamped our website, my not only website but our shops as well in April. So I did not, bukan tidak tidur, but I spent less on my sleeping time in April. I think I sleep for about 4 hours, 5 hours, and then I totally revamp. I do everything myself. I revamp my website, and then I came up in May, launched the website, because before this, my customers are all walk-in customer. But when you don't have any business going on in April and May, it's really hit the financials, because I need to support not only myself, but I need to support about 10 of my staff. Yeah, I need to kasih gaji them. Not only that, I need to pay the bills, the rentals and everything. So I was thinking, if this continue, what should I do? What should I do to keep us running and to keep my staff on payroll? So it's really stressful. So we started online, okay, online shops, and then I didn't see any business coming in the first few months. I only see the business coming in somewhere in June, late June and in July. That was after I change, after I do certain promotions. Okay, and during that time, okay, if before this, when you're running shops, physical shops, you're only concerned about how you display your product and everything. But when you go online, I think you need to do a lot of works behind the computer. Like you need to do the graphic presentations, the photos, the chats response time, time frame delivery. You have to think all these factor. So basically, it's totally different when you do business offline and online. Okay, when you do offline, you only care about, okay, you care about your customer service, the first impressions when people come in into your shops. You usually okay, you have a nice setup, yeah, but when you do online, it's more than that. I think a lot of times we spend at the back of the computer. Okay, and yeah, before pandemic or before the COVID, I usually bring my staff go around, okay, and to see our customer. We visit our best, do our sales consultations. We talk about the design. We discuss the designs over the counter. Okay, and we create clients rapport through these visitations. But after the pandemic, it's totally changed. Okay, totally changed. I think we started doing Zoom, online design consultations. We put up the design, okay, and then we ask them, okay, what you want to change. Everything is done online. So I think there is a difference there. Okay, when you do online, it's faster, but when you do offline, whereby you go and see your customer, of course, the customer will trust you more. But I think it's more texting. It's more it takes more times. But when we do online, I think it's faster lah. But we only do this starting of this year because I actually kept waiting and waiting and waiting for this for the border to open, but it didn't happen. Okay, once the border open, 2 months or 3 months, close lagi balik. Okay, and then buka tutup. So it's like a chips mall. So for businesses, we cannot live in chips mall punya situation. So something need to be done. So I think I decided that I think I cannot wait until the border is open, then kami resume business. So I just said myself, okay, we just go ahead lah. So everything now is online. So what is the real challenge? Okay, when you do business online, it's totally different. What Ben and Hezron shared just now, it is more on your personal. But from my point, it is more on the business itself. It's not easy living a business online because the real challenge is how to keep your online presence felt. Okay, the challenge is not how to go online, but it is how to make people aware of your product, aware of your brand, how to make people come to you and buy from you. So this is, I think, the real challenge for me, for us in Cantik Borneo, how to stay online because there are lots of competitions. Everyone is going online. All businesses are online now. All businesses are doing live now. But how? Okay, so this is my real challenge. If previously we do a lot of social media, but I think now not only social media, but you have to do the extra miles whereby you need to do every channels. Like for Instagram, you cannot just do posting, but we do on reels, we do video, we do live, we do TikTok. Okay, so it's more depth. If kalau dulu kan you just do posting once a day, now you cannot do just one posting a day. You have to do on all platform. One posting to be shared on your WhatsApp status, one posting to be shared on your Facebook groups, your Facebook stories, and even we also have kami punya Telegram channel, and I also have our virtual shops, VR, virtual tour, virtual shops. So that's how I convince kami punya customer about kami punya business. So because usually people when they visit your online shops, they only see like products, but they don't see the actual shop. So we did our virtual shops. So people will more convinced with our product. Okay, so my sales channels, how we sell, we have website. Okay, landing, people call it landing page, but we do exist on all other platform. For example, we have IG shops, we have on IG Facebook shops, we are on Shopee, we also have WhatsApp shops. Okay, and all this link to our main page, which is the Cantik Borneo shops. And besides that, I also have dropship agents. I also have a network which is consists of tailors and crafters, which we try to empower them so that they become a fashionpreneur. Okay, because I see that this is how we can continue with doing business, especially nowadays. And one aspect of when you do online business or making a living online, especially for business, I think the most important is how to make sales, how to make money comes into your business. So we cannot rely just with just one shops, but I think we are very thankful with our drop shippers who are very supportive, who are very aggressive in doing sales. So they are our frontliners, whereby we are the people behind the operations. So yeah. So what is the online business lifestyle? So what is my business lifestyle? How I spend my days? Basically, the aim here is to be on any device, anywhere, anytime, any browser. So when you're doing online business or when you're selling online, you have to be available 24 hours. So how to make it available 24 hours is very critical. So basically, you need to have gadgets, which is both Android and iOS. I have both because I want to see what's the effect of my website on Android gadgets and what is the effect on iOS. Because when you do your online shops, the gadget itself, the iOS itself, presents a different view. So you have to be very aware of how your customer view your product or view your shops from their gadgets. So that's why I think I have I have two handphones. Yeah, I have two handphones. One is Android and the other one is iOS. Okay, and then not only that, I have a few tabs. So basically, I'm checking all this every day. So this is how we make life online. So my recent shopping carts, if you I think most of us doing shoppings online, but my shopping carts looks like this. I buy mostly apps, payment vouchers, payment gateways, plugins, and everything, softwares for editing, for clouds, and so forth. So this is my shopping carts looks like. Okay, and this is how I communicate with my staff. Basically, last time we used to have meetings, but nowadays I think most of us doing on WhatsApp or doing on Telegram. So my staff will be communicating through social media, social network, social messaging most of the time. And at the end of my handphone, this is my handphones looks like. Most of my handphones either is apps, is a banking. So this is a common view for any business doing online. So you will have all these apps. You must have the CRM, you must have the shops, the card system, you must have the HRM management, my Google business, online chat. This is just to communicate with your customer. So it's not easy actually doing business online but I think for me it's become a normal already nowadays. Yeah. Okay, so reports. This is my daily reports. This is the reports that I read every day. I need to see how many people are responding to our marketing. I need to analyze how the public view about us so that I can react. Okay, I can react to changes. What strategy that I need to do next for our business. So this is very common. I think anyone who is doing business online, I think this is common in their handphone. This is common report that you read every day because you need to see the statistic. Okay, especially the graph of the traffic coming to your website. Okay, and one more things which I think are very important when you're doing online business is you have to set your personal branding. Okay, for Ben, I think it's easy because he's an influencer. But for people who are not influencer like us, who are at the manufacturing level, who are working behind the door, okay, is it's very critical for us to put ourselves in front there so that people will know about our business. So basically, if before this, people we used to call me to give talks or to give my sharings about culture offline. But after the pandemic, I think it's not easy to give talk online facing the computer just like this, and it's like talking to yourself online, talking to the screen is kind of weird. But I think I've learned to do that. So I brave myself to do that. I think sometimes this year, I don't feel comfortable going live because that is not me. But I think I really have to push myself. Yeah, and basically my social media, I don't really post about myself, but I think I post a lot about my community, those who are the fashion designers, the tailoring community, sharing with them, sharing to my social network about their work. So this is how my post thing in Facebook most of the time. Every day, I think almost every week I do this so that people will know more about us. Okay. So behind the screen, okay, behind the screen is my staff. During the pandemic, I think very important to keep the staff going, okay, because my company in Chandik Borneo, I'm not alone. This is about 10 of us, now 11 of us. This is about the people behind my company. We need to find a living. So basically, they are working together. So I believe, like Steve Jobs said, great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. So behind Chandik Borneo is a team of people, not only me alone. Okay, and during this pandemic, I did team building. Okay, every 6 months. If before this, we did our team building once a year. But I think during pandemic, I think we need to work harder. We need to work harder and give more. So once in 6 months team buildings is really kept us bonded, keep us on track. So even though I'm at home, my staff sometimes they're at home, okay, or I'm not with them, but they knows what we are doing. So basically, the teamwork is very important to keep a business going online. Yeah. So okay, I would like to end my sessions with this quote from Albert Einstein: "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." And I believe, even though we are in the middle of difficulty with all this pandemic, with all this COVID-19, I always believe there is always opportunity for everyone to stand out. Yeah, over to you, Dino.
Thank you, and thank you for that insight on online business. It's quite quite an insight indeed, and I myself learned a bit from there. We proceed now with Q&A. Let's start with this question by Jude. If you were, let me see, it's right here. The online platform for you to create an online store. What would be the platforms? Maybe as starters, what would be the online platforms that you need to be on if you were to do an online business?
Okay, for starters, I would say Facebook is the depends on where is your market. Depends on where is your market. If your market is young, maybe you can go for IG, okay, Instagram. If you are going for a middle age market, Facebook is the best. So we should know where is our market is. Then you know where to get them. But I think it's very important. First, you need to have landing page, one landing page, and I use Easy Store. But there are lots of landing page or e-cut system out there where you can find. You just Google, yeah. But you have to set up your IG shops and Facebook shops, and most importantly, WhatsApp business is very important, because without the landing page, you can just set up your shops using WhatsApp. I think that's very basic.
Okay, that's good. There's another one from Jude. So now that you set up your online platforms and everything, do you run ad campaigns to bring your customers to the landing page, or you focus more on organic reach?
Okay, I focus more on the organic reach. I don't do Facebook ads because I've done that 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't think that is. I have a reason not to do it, because I think I tend to spend more on the ads, but I believe in organics, and that's why you need to have your dropship system. You need to have your own system, and not only that, but you need to do a lot of marketing, especially on TikTok, on IG, and on Facebook. And most importantly, I think you have to create your own community. So that's why we have our Facebook groups, whereby all our followers are in one group. So easy for you to keep track with them, easy for you to interact with them.
Nice. We have another question. From Ben himself. Did you take advantage of the government handouts for business during the pandemic? How helpful were these provisions? And did it create an impact to assist you in terms of paying wages and etc.?
Okay. So government incentive, government incentive. The only thing that's I benefited is the bencana lah, the payout. It really helps a lot. It's really helps a lot. Without the bencana, I think not only me, but most of the employers out there are going to bankrupt. It's truly because we are forced to pay, even though we are not running business. You see, itu yang buat kau gila. Serious. It's only employers knows that.
True.
And you know what? The one crazy thing that I did during the pandemic, when regarding with HR, I signed up with Sabah Employees Associations at 3:00 in the morning, just because to solve certain issues. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, I think that's
question for tonight.
Answer. Yeah.
Last question for tonight. Say the situation gets better. Okay. Of course, nowadays it's unpredictable. Something will go wrong somewhere, even though things look better. But let's just say it won't get any worse. Do you see yourself setting up physical outlets in shopping malls, etc., or would you just continue to go online only?
Wow. See,
Would you go back? Would you go back to physical? Yeah.
That's the real dilemma of our businesses nowadays. You have to do a lot of considerations. But seeing that, I think I will settle for online, because going offline is it's another investment. It's not easy. So before COVID, our plan is to move out to another better place. But after COVID, I really have to think hard. So it's 360 degree turns, not only for me, but I think a lot of my friends who are in business. We really have to rethink a lot of banyaklah considerations. But for me personally, I will not set up physical shops because it's quite scary. See, betul-betul bikin takut. It's not easy. It's the risk is too big. It's too high. It's better stay online.
Fair enough. I think the safest choice for now is just to stay online until we actually see something that is much less risky, or something that will boost your confidence to actually go back there.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So thank you so much, Anne, for your time tonight. We're actually towards the end of our session. Can we have Ben and Hezron back? Yes. Thank you, Ben, Hezron, and amazing content from all three of you. We actually overshoot our time, but I think it was well worth it because the content was amazing. We got questions from the audience, good engagement from them, which shows the interest towards the content you have. Enjoyed the session tonight. I look forward to seeing all of you again in the next webcam KK session. So to end the night, I leave you all with the music performance from Hezron himself. So let's play the music video now, and good night to everyone. Good night to all speakers. Thank you again so much. Bye.